Well, good morning. This is Ruben. I'm drinking some coffee from Armenia, the coffee zone in Colombia, where I happen to have a home and share it with the love of my life. And as a matter of fact, talking about that, and before we go into today's topic, is that we have an upcoming bootcamp. I'm going to give you some more information at the end of this video because I want you to go and register to get more information about this specific marketing bootcamp that we're going to have. And I think that you're going to like what you see. Anyhow, let me talk to you today about video ads and what I see a lot of people doing their videos, just like I'm doing this one, but this one is not going in particular to any specific target market. This is going to my audience because of what I see. Now, I see a lot of people doing videos, and I see a lot of my friends too, and people doing paid ads with their videos. What I find is that most people, if I'm seeing the ad, you're wasting your time, your energy, your effort, and your money, because I may not be your ideal client. Now, let's focus on that for a second. And let me give you a little story of something that happened to me a little while back. I was at a store. There was a gentleman on the table, and he was doing demonstrations of hair stuff, curling irons and the things to flatten the hair and all that little stuff, and very expensive stuff, a couple $100. And there were people stopping, and they were buying, and they were all women. And I was watching, and I was observing him. I was observing his pitch, his tonality. I was, listening to the same jokes over and over again. So he had his pitch down. This pitch he had to memorize it. He had to learn it. He had to learn how to develop it because it was written, professionally written. And I could tell that. So he was doing this, and women were buying, and I watched him do this presentation several times, and I just stayed in the back. Then eventually I stepped forward to the table, and he started the pitch, and I said, dude, stop. I said, look, I don't need a curling iron. Or the flattening thing or anything like this. And I said to him, listen, when a man approaches your table, just pick up a bag, hand it to him and say, take your vitamins before you go home, or something like that. And he just laughed, and he just stood there and said, dude, hand me a bag. And I just took a bag, and, we had a little chat, and I left, and I paid for it, and, I took my vitamins before I went home. But the point is this. He was trying to pitch me. Of course, I was already a buyer, because I saw the reaction of other people. But if he would have pitched me, he would have probably lost me, because he would have bored me to death, or he would have lost me for other reasons. So it's kind of like, I said, dude, when your message is in front of the right person, it's going to resonate, and the sale is going to happen. Now, if you're doing video, and I'm going to take a couple little side roads here, because I want this to be educational for you. When you're running paid ads, and you probably already know this, that you're going to get statistics. People that dropped off at 25%, people that dropped off at 50%, people that dropped off at 75% of your video. Now, two things that you can do. You can look at those statistics. You can grab your video and see, okay, what was it that I covered up to 25%? What was it that I said? What was the shift that happened at 25% that you lost to people? You can create another video and just cover the topic that was covered on that very first 25%. You can create another video that goes into a more deep dive into the 50% of your video. And then you can retarget those individuals, the 25%, the 50%, 75%. Now, all these videos, or, one of the things that we suggest is no call to action. This is just content being delivered. When you get to 90, 95%, those people stayed through the entire message. They connected with you. They connected with the message. They connected with the content. They stayed. They listened. Now, there's a connection there. Those can get retargeted, and the next ad can have a call to action. Now they went from a suspect to a prospect. So now you have a prospect. Now you can have a continuing message with a call to action. Now they come into your list. Now you can start communicating with them with further touch points. These touch points are important, so I want you to listen to this. 48% of the people do not follow up past the first contact. Yet 82% of sales happen after the 5th contact, and most of them after the 8th. So when you look at those numbers, you say, okay, how do I continue this? You need to have a little bit of automation in place where you continuously do your retargeting ads, and you bring them into a list somehow, and then you start communicating with them either via email or chatbot or whichever system you're going to have to put in place. Another thing, when we're doing an onboarding deep dive calls with my clients, is this. And this is a little another side road that I want to take about, to help you with your marketing strategies, is that when we do these deep dives, and there's a 5-step process that we go through. It takes about about 2.5, 3 hours to do this. But step number 5, we go deep dive into, and it normally is something like this. Hey, John, okay, let me ask you this. Perfect. We've covered everything else. And I would go, hey, John, and let me ask you, who answers the call on Mondays? And they'll go something like, well, Betty answers the calls, on Mondays. And I said, okay. And then during the rest of the week, does she answer the phone all the time, or is there somebody else that takes over? And I said, well, sometimes, Marge takes over. And I said, okay, so we have Betty and Marge, and anybody else? Well, sometimes, Susan, or maybe I answer the call. I say, perfect. Now, who's the best person on the phone? I said, well, Betty is, or one of them usually is. And then I'll say, okay, so she brings the more sales, the more clients in, she gets the most appointments or whatever it is that the service may have to be. And I go, well, one does better than the other. I said, okay, so, and what is it that she says that the other one doesn't? Oh, I'm not sure. I think it's her personality. Oh, stop. There's no system in place. I go like, think about that. If you don't know what they're saying to clients and customers, they're running the business, not you. So what we need to do is we need to script it out. Then we have to go deep into the business and learn more about it, write the scripts that they're going to use that, because everybody has to say exactly the same thing so that we can assure exactly what is happening. If there are systems that are broken, they need to be fixed or they need to be put in place. And in most places, there are no systems in place. And I'm going like, really, how you survive so far this, just because she's good, but the other one isn't. I mean, you may be good at what you do, but if that's the initial point of contact, we need to get the client in the door. Anyhow, that's the same as suspects and prospects. If you don't have the right systems in place, if you're wasting your time, your energy, your efforts, and your money, if you're not following up correctly, the 25%, the 50%, the 95%, or if you have a call to action too soon, or if you have no call to action at all, or there's no connection with the client and you don't know what they're listening to when they're connecting with you. Anyhow, I want you to think about that today, and your message, your targeting, who's looking at your targeting, who is the ideal client, are you retargeting them correctly? It hurts me not to be retargeted. When I get retargeted by a company, if I saw an ad or something and I see it again, and I love it when the ad says, hey, listen, I noticed that yesterday you did this. And I say, oh man, they're doing it right. And I love that. And sometimes I'll reward them for that with a small purchase or something, just because I know that they went through the extra effort to do it right. And anyhow, I want you to think about that. So after this, you're probably going to see a video. I'm going to talk to you about our upcoming bootcamp in Colombia. I want you to go ahead and register, get more information about it, and I hope to see you there. Those are 3 days that are really going to change your life. Anyhow, remember, success leaves clues. My name is Ruben, and I wish you the best. Ciao. Take care.
Join me in the event where you will build a profitable online business in less than 4 days and discover how to apply the underground strategies that are going to help you dominate your marketplace, reach new clients, and have them beg you to take their money. Hi, I'm Ruben Santiago, and the way to create and scale a business has changed. Join me and Patricia Camelo, other entrepreneurs and professionals just like you in Armenia, Colombia, driven to fulfill their mission and all committed to take it to the next level. Imagine what it would mean for you and your business if you could sell to many people all at once, increase your customer list, serve to transform others, and sell your products and services online over and over again. Using a step-by-step proven system, repeatable over and over again, reaching new customers in your locality and or around the world 24/7. It is time for you to live your mission to help more people as you reach your income and lifestyle you've always imagined. This bootcamp is live and is only held once a year. Don't miss the opportunity and discover exactly how other entrepreneurs and professionals have made millions in sales with an easy-to-follow, duplicable system that you can implement yourself over and over again. It is time to stop chasing customers and try to do it all, wasting time and money. Instead, create a solid digital business foundation. Now, if you're looking to monetize your knowledge, your skills, your experience, your talents, double your sales, scale your business, and transform the lives of others with your message, the moment is right now to discover the methodology and have a profitable business and enjoy a life with purpose. In this bootcamp, you're going to discover that the only way for you to exponentially grow your business is through the mastery of the process and the 3-step system and methodology we are going to share with you. And then the only way to master the 3-step process is to understand and follow the system and our methodology. Register today for our 4-day intensive bootcamp in Armenia, Colombia, where you are going to discover how to find your market. Where are those new customers, those who are looking for and interested in what you're going to offer them, even if you're just getting started? Then we're going to reveal to you how to attract those new and more customers interested in what you have to offer, creating irresistible offers that are going to make them beg you to sell them now. And lastly, how to scale and automate with your own perfect presentation and tools, even if you don't know anything or are afraid of the technical material. Register right now and don't miss this opportunity to get more information about this upcoming live bootcamp in Armenia, Colombia.